Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope y'all doing well and enjoying your day so far. With hackers arriving in force to Call of Duty Vanguard, there's been lots of questions from pro players as to what this means for the future of the league, but also a fair bit of discussion about how easy Call of Duty is nowadays and what they should do going forward to make things a little bit more challenging and increase the skill gap to some degree. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm really upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, this from Colonel I thought was very interesting indeed, playing the Vanguard beta. Lots of discussion about the sun in the game right now, because this is a couple of screenshots that I've seen. I mean, look at this. The sun on this map is just incredibly blinding. Apparently, there's a way to get rid of this entirely if you guys have been having issues with it, and maybe something some of the pros will have to consider doing. It does make me wonder, though, with situations like this, what happens, like, let's say, like, going into next year's title or whatever, there's, you know, you're playing on LAN, of course. Can you change some of this stuff in the game? Like, can you bring along your own, like, auto-exec, like you might do in CSGO? It does make me wonder. But still, Colonel reckons that try this, you go to documents, etc., set this to 1 and set this to 0, and then the sun just straight up disappears. If that's something you've been having issues with, I'm sure some of the pro players might have found this relatively frustrating as well. Something you might want to test out going forward to get rid of that sun on certain maps. Thought this is pretty cool from Afro right here. For some reason, it's incredibly dark when he's playing, but he's banging out the keyboard Pirates of the Caribbean. Some people are looking at this, okay, Pirates of the Caribbean theme tune, is he joining the Mutineers, which maybe would link, even though it seems like he's going to be still in London for next year, no doubt about that one. But yeah, I did think this was kind of interesting, right? Just because playing music and they're being cracked out on the keyboard, definitely I suppose some people might call him a keyboarder as a result of this. I wonder whether that flexibility in your fingers actually like helps you become a better gamer. Probably does, so something to think about if you're I don't know, like in the next generations and stuff, what you should have them doing as kids if you want to make them cracked on Call of Duty when they grow up and get a little bit older. This as well from our new Challengers team. There's obviously always a fair bit of talk about what could potentially be happening here. I doubt this will be one, right, because Paulette's Gravity and Parasite, maybe too many ARs on that team. Tiny as well here. They're probably just playing the Vanguard beta and having a good time at it at that, but still, you never really know when there's parties being spotted. We saw just the other day Karma was spotting some parties also playing the Vanguard beta, and it seemed like that was actually going to end up being the London Royal Ravens roster for next year. So thanks to all those who point stuff out to me like this, definitely it will help to just determine what things that might be going on going forward. This then from Turn Up Too Easy yesterday. So a lot of questions right now about the beta and some of these, well, hackers arriving right now on PC. Can't even enjoy the beta. This one's kind of ridiculous right here. You can see the sun in the background as well, as we just talked about. But yeah, the machine pistol, just hopping through walls. I mean, people with the most blatant aimbots you've ever seen in your entire life. It's kind of frustrating to think about, to be honest. But still, as Simp says, not again, please, because this was a massive discussion point last year. And of course, none of the pros want this to be the case. But there's also been a lot of talks from the likes of Clayster about what this could potentially mean going forward. Seeing some cheaters already in the beta, I sure do hope there's a solid anti-cheat coming for multiplayer challenges. Was questionable, to say the least, this last year. Supposed to be the league right under ours, and I swear every week there were people looking like they were cheating. This is the thing, right? The discrepancy between the pro scene and the challenger scene is just so massive, to be honest, last year, because of course, if look, these open like game battles, 2K type tournaments, like pretty much anyone can enter those, right? Which means that like any players can just hop in, and I saw some pretty outrageous cheats, to be honest, last year, because not just players were cheating in terms of like having aimbot. Like no one's going to use those aimbots in yeah, if they're trying to cheat in challengers, because I mean it's just going to be too obvious. But I saw some things where like on the bottom left hand corner of their screen there was like some dots that were like very tiny to see, and in like 720p that they were streaming in, you could barely even see the dots in the bottom left hand corner, but they were actually indicating where the players were on the minimap. So it was like wall hacks, but like you can just look in the bottom left hand corner and see where the enemy team is, or something like that. There was people that were like hiding these using their face cams and stuff, so they were streaming but hiding their wall hacks. Like there was some crazy stuff going on in challenges last year, and hopefully the anti-cheat, if it does arrive, of course we know it's coming to, well, Warzone, but will it actually come to multiplayer? That's a big question mark. Clayster's kind of concerned about the possibility of that, I imagine, and as he says right here, like it's meant to be the league right under the pro league, but it really doesn't feel like that at times, right? It definitely feels a lot of the time like the pro league is the pro league, and then anything in challenges is just kind of chaos, right? Even though the players at the very top of challenges are very similar in terms of skill to a lot of the pro players, and that will continue to get called up, I'm sure, over the coming days and weeks. So definitely some frustrations and concerns. Thought this is kind of funny from Killer, right, in reply, of course, 2013 Call of Duty World Champion. Cheat or be cheated on at this point. So kind of an interesting take, right? Just saying, well, you know, if people are just going to cheat on you, let's just cheat back, right? Get the wall hacks out, get the aimbot out. But Crimsix is like, yeah, agree to disagree on this front. Not sure that's necessarily the opinion we should be taking going forward. But well, let's talk more about this Vanguard beta then. So of course, Red Star needs to be vaulted immediately, says Envoy. Definitely a lot of frustration specifically about that map. But it has been nice to see some different guns get utilized. This from Drazah right here looks, I mean, this is like an MP40. see. But the gun he was using earlier looks kind of like a grease gun. I don't know exactly what this is, but it looks like the World War II grease gun. And well, he's been absolutely frying with it. He picks up the MP40 off the ground and keeps going to town. So it's nice to see some variation in terms of the weaponry, like the machine pistol coming into play. Apparently the machine pistol is really good. I still haven't got the opportunity to play this right yet. Probably won't do until the actual game comes out because I'm still away for a few more days. I'm pretty sure maybe they extended the beta until like Wednesday or something, so that's still going to be happening. But yeah, a lot of different weapons and well, pretty fun to use it seems. Now the recoil on these guns has been a massive consideration because these last couple of years, a lot of the times the guns just do not seem to recoil at all and are just straight laser beams. It's especially in this new like boots on the ground era when there's no more jetpacks and it's kind of difficult to shoot people in that sense. The guns are just so easy to use compared to how they have been like several years ago. So this of course from Drazah I thought was pretty disgusting, and then this from Envoy, like the Thompson right here, and you can see like he's having to actively control the recoil, which is kind of nice to see, right? Because the last couple of games there's certainly been some times where you can just shoot dead straight and well, the guns aren't going to do anything, and you can see right here, I mean this is a pretty disgusting clip honestly from Envoy, like getting this 6-piece was pretty ridiculous, but like he actually has to actively control the recoil, which is nice to see, because there was a clip that came out from Shotzzy not too long ago. I'll show it on screen for you guys right now, effectively saying, look, the games are just way too easy nowadays. It's way too easy to shoot straight, like the guns don't have any recoil, like it's not even hard for players that are worse at the game to just shoot dead straight. We should bring it back to how it was back in Black Ops 3.
That too.
Dude, I couldn't even get a nuke because I was 18 and 0, man.
Is the Vanguard one good or what?
I think it's good. I mean, bro, it's so easy to aim nowadays, dude.
Yeah, that's facts.
Like, bro, they needed whatever Black Ops 3 was, dude. They needed to put it back to that, dude, because that's so hard to aim.
That's actually, bro, I would have got a nuke right here too, man. Come on.
That was hard to aim too because of the guns also. Oh, dang, you're 23 now. Like one bursting while people are flying around is hard, and the VMP actually had some good recoil.
This is what Paris had us to say a few months ago then on the topic, like weapons in COD don't actually take much skill to use, especially at a level of pro play in a pro playing field, right? Only guns I can think of that take actual skill to shoot at. The Maddox, for example, in Black Ops 4, the Sorg with the strafe in Black Ops 4 as well, so the recoil control on that, and the Black Ops 2 M8 you had to strafe with it, VMP in Black Ops 3, the strafe and the recoil control, and certainly the VMP in Black Ops 3 was a pretty big discussion point. I found this clip actually from Zaptiers from a few years ago back now in 2016. This clip gets across the map right here. Like this you can see right here is very difficult to do on a consistent basis. Hitting shots like these was so challenging with the VMP back in the day, and yeah, the other team just straight up rage quit straight away. But yeah, like a few years ago, like it used to be actually difficult to control recoil on some of these weapons. Nowadays, pretty much everything is a laser beam. We certainly saw it in well, this most recent Black Ops Cold War, right, where the Krig would just destroy everyone across the map without even a second thought. And Shotzzy is basically saying like, look, we don't want that to be the case anymore. We want these guns to actually be difficult to use, increase the skill gap to some degree, and take it like how it was back in the day. Of course, in these eras, we used to have jetpacks, which made things more difficult, like people were more difficult to shoot at and get, you know, good shots on target on. It was more of a challenge. But in recent titles, it's just been so easy to shoot that it's been kind of a frustration, right? Like, obviously, there is still some skill gap involved, but a lot of the skill gap, it seems, in recent titles has not necessarily been in terms of you know, individual gun skill between players, but more in terms of teamwork and how you work as a player. And of course, certain players definitely do shoot straighter than others, but still, kind of the discrepancy has been less than maybe it has in previous titles, especially back in Black Ops 3, where it was difficult to do something like this, no doubt. In this title, though, recoil does seem to be returning to some degree, which does seem to be a pretty good sign, because there's been a fair bit of talk about, yeah, okay, these recent games, like, it's just so easy to shoot. Now, in this game, we saw this from CDL memes a couple of days ago. The bar just goes absolutely up to the sky. Now, of course, with certain attachments, this doesn't have to be the case, but just the fact that you have to control recoil in this game is pretty promising. Like, back in a World War II, I remember the VMP, or the PPSH, sorry, like, it was kind of similar to the VMP in some senses, but you had to pull down on that weapon, and when you got a cross-map kill with a PPSH, that was very satisfying indeed. Hopefully that will be the case in this game once again, because well, certainly exciting if that is, but well, I'm not holding my breath necessarily. I'm sure pros are going to figure out some sort of attachment combination of the 75 odd attachments you can have in Gunsmith that makes these guns shoot well, pretty dead straight, because that's kind of been the issue in a sense with all these attachments coming into play, that the guns just shoot dead straight, and it's kind of frustrating for players like Shotzzy. You think that well, it reduces the skill gap in the game. Just wanted to finish off with this as well. This clip I saw a couple of days ago I thought was kind of funny. Emergency flankers play, you know, Zuma and Co are talking right here about creddies, right? Players that kind of play in such a way to guarantee themselves easy kills, and considering that to actually be a very valuable playstyle in the most recent couple of titles and most recent couple of games, and that Scump seems to believe they might be talking about him, and all of a sudden it's emergency flank time. But very much intrigued to get your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If if you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really upset the YouTube icon on there. You enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I'm growing the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Seth got mad when I said he's playing like a Creddy, but I personally think that's a compliment these days.
Oh, dude, Creddy
If you are a Creddy player, you are godlike.
Yeah,
Thank
you're.
you.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
They have King Creddy. So some people are called King
Cellium,
Creddy.
like MC, my son. That guy is Creddy.
Oh, Bant is Creddy.
You guys want to play laser
Yeah,
tag
Bant
today?
is Creddy as fuck too. So is Bant. See, bro, those are the best players, bro.
Are you saying in GTA or in COD?
Insight is also
In
Creddy.
general,
There's a lot of
COD.
Creddys.
Where did we just go to? Are you throwing me on the flank?
Envoys, yeah. I
Hey,
can give
ladies and
Envoy
gentlemen,
Creddy.
let's run the intro in 3, 2.
Wait, were we talking about GTA?
Yeah, I do
No, that was.
Oh, the sun's come out. You can't make this stuff up. Oh my god, it's so bright. Are you actually taking the piss? What am I meant to do with that?